Hi everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my bookshelf tour. So I have actually done a bookshelf tour before, but that was on my main channel, Holly Hearts Art. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to that channel, I highly recommend that you do. And I made that video before I created this channel specifically for books, and I thought it was so weird that I didn't have a bookshelf tour on this channel. Well, now I do, and I really hope you enjoy. So this first shelf is going to be a little bit harder to show you because it's literally wedged in front of my bed. So as you can see, I am standing on my bed, so it's going to be a little bit unstable. So we're gonna have to rely on my balance here. But this first shelf is basically my all-time favorite shelf, and I have a BMO plushie and a figure of Roxas and Axel from Kingdom Hearts 2. So first we have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. And next we have my all-time favorite series, and that is The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. And then The Girl of Fire and Thorns, The Crown of Embers, and The Bitter Kingdom by Ray Carson. Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. The Boundless by Kenneth Oble. Midnight Thief and Daughter of Dusk by Olivia Blackburn. Stitching Snow and Spinning Starlight by R.C. Lewis. And then Shatter Me, Unravel Me, and Ignite Me by Tahereh Mafi. And on the next shelf I have my Garrus Funko Pop from Mass Effect, and Ciel from Black Butler, and my Captain Sparkles figure. So first we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, and Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. And then we have Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs as well. Ruby Red, Sapphire Blue, and Emerald Green by Kristen Gear. Hex Hall, Demon Glass, Spellbound, and School Spirits by Rachel Hawkins. And up next we have Nightmares, The Sleepwalker Tonic, and The Lost Lullaby by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. And yes, this is the Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother. Spirit's Key by Edith Cohn, The Wolf Wilder by Catherine Rundell, The Glass Casket by McCormick Templeman, The Accident Season by Myra Doyle, A Fierce and Subtle Poison by Samantha Mabry, Princess of Thorns by Stacey J, Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky, Soundless by Michelle Mead, Blood Rose Rebellion by Rosalind Eves, and Poison's Kiss by Brianna Shields. And on this next shelf I have my tall hardcovers with a Daenerys figure. So up first we have The Star-Touched Queen in A Crown of Wishes, The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye, and then we have Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, Heartless by Marissa Meyer, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and The Assassin's Blade, all by Sarah J. Maas. A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin by also Sarah J. Maas. Red Queen and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. And I also have a shelf below that, but these books are so hard to get to. They are pretty wedged inside there. But these books aren't all that important, and I'm not going to be reading them anytime soon, so that's why they're in this shelf. But yeah, I will give you a quick overview of these, even though you can't really see them that well. But trust me, they're there, and I hope this is good enough for you. So now going on to the second shelf, we have my South Park figures and a Kirby plushie. Everneath, Everbound, and Ever True by Brody Ashton. Walk on Earth a Stranger, Like a River Glorious by Ray Carson. Graceling, Bitter Blue, and Fire by Kristen Cashore. The Winner's Curse, The Winner's Crime, and The Winner's Kiss by Marie Rutowski. The Orphan Queen and the Mirror King by Jody Meadows. Snow Like Ashes, Ice Like Fire, and Frost Like Night by Sarah Rosh. Grave Mercy, Dark Triumph, and Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevers. So going down one shelf, I have my Orphan Black Funko Pop, Sarah Manning and Felix, and two pumpkin ornaments. Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, Winter, Fairest, and Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater, The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily Lily Blue, and The Raven King, all by Maggie Stiefvater as well. Unearthly, Hollowed, and Boundless by Cynthia Hand, Seraphina and Shadow Scale by Rachel Hartman, The Wrath and the Dawn, and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier, Reign of Shadows and Rise of Fire by Sophie Jordan. So this shelf is basically my Cassandra Clare books, and I have a couple series here as well. So first off, let's start with the Mortal Instruments series, which consists of City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. The Bane Chronicles, which is a bunch of short stories about Magnus Bane. The Shadowhunters Codex. And then we have the Infernal Devices trilogy, which consists of Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. The Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. And then we have Cassandra Clare's new series, The Dark Artifices, which includes Lady Midnight, Half a King, Half the World, and Half a War by Joe Abercrombie. And then we have Falling Kingdoms, Rebel Spring, Gathering Darkness, Frozen Tides, and Crystal Storm by Morgan Rhodes. And then we have her spin-off series of Spirits and Thieves and The Darkest Magic, also by Morgan Rhodes. Onto this next shelf, it's kind of hard for me to get into these side books because they're kind of behind my bed, but let's go ahead and show them. So first we have Blood Seance by John Caden, Stones and Finger Bones by Jessica Minyard, Air to the Sky by Amanda Sun, The Creeping by Alexandra Sorowi, The Kingdom Within by Samantha Gillespie, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton, Strands of Bronze and Gold by Jay Nickerson, Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, Burning Glass by Catherine Purdy, Far Far Away by Tom McNeil, Of Beast and Beauty by Stacey J, Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, The Walls Around Us by Nova Rensuma, Forbidden and Banished by Kimberly Little, Stray and Burn by Alyssa Sussman, The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey, Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly, The Novice in the Inquisition by Taran Matharu, Ink and Bone and Paper and Fire by Rachel Kane, The Girl at Midnight in the Shadow Hour by Melissa Gray, Writers by Veronica Rossi, Assassin's Heart and Thief's Cunning by Sarah Ayres, Ruined by Amy Tintera, Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess, and Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. So this bottom shelf is again really hard to get to, and I have no figurines on this bottom shelf. So first we have The Bone Season and The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon, I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, The Thousandth Floor by Catherine McGee, Red Rising, Golden Sun, and Morning Star by Pierce Brown, The Fifth Wave and the Infinite Sea, The Last Star by Rick Yancey, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, Bird Box by Josh Mallerman, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, The Dark Days Club by Allison Goodman, Emperor of Thorns and King of Thorns by Mark Lawrence, Prince of Fools and the Liar's Key, also by Mark Lawrence, The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead, and Truth Witch and Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. So onto the third shelf, I have my contemporary section, and I have a Jasmine, Ariel, and Belle figure, as well as two fake candles, a unicorn figure, and a pink owl piggy bank. So first we have Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Gournall, Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, Dreamology by Lucy Keating, We Are All Made of Molecules by Susan Nelson, Up from the Sea by Lisa Loetz, Swan Boy by Nikki Sheehan, The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper by Phaedra Patrick, and Rodent by Lisa J. Lawrence, Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, First and Then by Emma Mills, A Matter of Heart by Amy Dominy, The Museum of Heartbreak by Meg Leader, The Loose Ends List by Carrie Firestone, Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, The Anatomical Shape of a Heart by Jen Bennett, To All the Boys I've Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, Lily and Boxfish Takes a Walk by Kathleen Rooney, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, The Queen of Bright and Shiny Things by Anne Aggery, The Wrong Side of Right by Jen Marie Thorne, This Song Will Save Your Life by Lila Sales, Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between by Jennifer E. Smith, The Museum of Intangible Things by Wendy Wonder, First by Lori Elizabeth Flynn, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, Broken Hearts, Fences and Other Things to Mend, and Revenge, Ice Cream, and Other Things Best Served Cold by Katie Finn, Pearl by Danger Hall, Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, The Way Back to You by Michelle Andrini and Mindy Scott, The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith, and The Apple Tart of Hope by Sarah Moore Fitzgerald. Going on to the second shelf, I have my owl mug, my Wolverine figure, and a container of my bookmarks. Up first, we have Spindlefire by Lexa Hillier, Given to the Sea by Minnie McGinnis, Hunted by Megan Spooner, The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins, Scarlet by A.C. Goggin, Scarlet Epstein Hates It Here by Anna Breslaw, Since You've Been Gone and The Unexpected Everything by Megan Matson, Open Road Summer by Emery Lord, Unrivaled by Alison Noel, Something Real by Heather Demetrios, Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, Emmy and Oliver by Robin Benway, The Imposter Queen and the Cursed Queen by Sarah Fine, Defy, Ignite, Anna Durr by Sarah B. Larson, Dorothy Must Die, Yellow Brick War and The Wicked Will Rise by Danielle Page, Rebel Belle, Miss Mayhem and Lady of Renegades by Rachel Hawkins, Talon and Rogue by Julie Kagawa, and then I have 2 Disney books, Cinderella and The Curse of Maleficent. Going on to my third shelf is basically my Harry Potter shelf, and I have some candles, some Harry Potter Funko Pops, and some sparkly owl ornaments. So first I have my 2 illustrated editions of Harry Potter, which consist of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, illustrated by Jim Kay. And then we have the Hogwarts Library, which consists of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, The Tales of Beedle the Bard, and Quidditch Through the Ages. And then we have my UK box set edition of Harry Potter, which consists of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, which I'm currently reading right now, all by J.K. Rowling. Up next we have An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, The Queen of the Tearling, The Invasion of the Tearling, and The Fate of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, These Broken Stars, The Shattered World and Their Fractured Light by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, Seeker, Traveler, and Disruptor by Arwen Elise Dayton. Going down a shelf, we have my mostly dystopian shelf, Forget Tomorrow by Pentip Dunn, Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, and 4 by Veronica Roth, The Darkest Minds, Never Fade and the Afterlight, and Through the Dark by Alexandra Bracken, Renegade and Revelations by J.A. Souders, Death Sworn and Death Marked by Lee Cypress, The Young Elites, The Rose Society, and The Midnight Star by Marie Lu, The Savage Song by V.E. Schwab, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows, also by V.E. Schwab, and then Gilded Cage by Vic James. So this last shelf, I just have a little cubby of books I need to unhaul, some drawing books, and binders full of my artwork. So we have Super Cute Animals and Pets by Christopher Hart, Anatomy 101 by Christopher Hart, Fantasy Fashion Art Studio by Meredith Dillman, Drawing the Head and Figure by Jack Ham, and Fashion Design Studio by Christopher Hart. So we have finally made it to the very top of my bookshelves. So here I keep most of my Funko Pops, and they are mostly Walking Dead Funko Pops. And I have 2 owl plushies, a 1-Up container that had candy in it. It doesn't have candy in it anymore. And then an old picture of my boyfriend and I at prom. So first we have my little Rick Riordan shelf. So let's start with these 2 big books, The Greek Gods and Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan, The Sword of Summer and The Hammer of Thor. And then we have the main Percy Jackson series and also the Heroes of Olympus series. And then The Hidden Oracle, all by Rick Riordan. The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine, Doll Bones by Holly Black, and Penny Royal Academy by M.A. Larson. The Search for Wandla, The Hero for Wandla and the Battle for Wandla by Tony DiTlorizzi, The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes, and The Last Ever After by Soman Chinani, and also The Ever Never Handbook by Soman Chinani as well. Dream Strider by Lindsay Smith, The Isle of the Lost by De La Cruz, Julia Vanishes by Catherine Egan, The Glass Sentence, The Golden Specific, and The Crimson Skew by S.E. Grove, The Blackthorn Key by Kevin Sands, Furthermore by Tahira Mafi, Frostfire and Ice Kissed by Amanda Hawking, Once Upon a Zombie by Billy Phillips and Ginny Nisensen, The Fire Wish and the Blind Wish by Amber Lowe, Exquisite Captive and Blood Passage by Heather Demetrios. By the way, this is the worst cover change ever. Mystic City and Toxic Heart by Theo Lawrence, Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, and also Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. Sword in Verse by Kathy McMillan, Ivory and Bone by Julie Eshbo, Starflight by Melissa Landers, Child by Fire by Josephine Angelini, Dream a Little Dream and Dream On by Kristen Gear, The Clockwork Scarab by Colleen Gleason, An Inheritance of Ashes by Lee Bobbitt, Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick, The Glass Arrow by Kristen Simmons, Deception's Princess by Esther Freisner, Winter Spell by Claire Legrand, Grimm's Fairy Tales, A Little Princess, and The Secret Garden, which are all Barnes & Noble editions. Lark Rising by Sandra Woe, The Story Spinner by Becky Wallace, Daughter of Deep Silence by Carrie Ryan, Nightfall by Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski, The Last of the Fire Drakes by Farah Umerboy, Bright Smoke Cold Fire by Rosamund Hodge, and Scythe by Neil Schusterman, Of Bone and Thunder by Chris Evans, Magonia by Maria Headley, And I Darken by Kristen White, These Shallow Graves by Sarah Donnelly, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, Outlander by Diana Gapaldon, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, Bassett in the Night by Sarah Porter, The Impossible Fortress by Jason Rekulak, and Only the Dead Know Brooklyn by Chris Bola. So I do have a stack of paperbacks right here, but I'm going to be doing a whole another bookshelf tour. It's a completely different bookshelf that you never ever see, and there's probably 100 books on it. So this stack will be part of that bookshelf tour, and I'm hoping to get that up sometime next month. So that is it for my bookshelf tour. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe. And until we meet again, happy reading.